Today, inside of Fallout 4, I will be spinning a wheel every time I level up, and I'll have to do whatever it says. It doesn't sound difficult, but I struggle later in the video. There's no more explaining to do, so let's get right into the video. Starting off, I tried to make my character as handsome as possible.
What?
I also named him 20/20 Vision because he looks like he can see thoughts. The news reporter on the TV tell us that there are nuclear bombs dropping all around us. I sprint out of my house, leaving my wife and baby behind because I need to get to the vault to survive. Because who needs a family if you're also dead? But first I went to go see if the news reporter was lying to us. He was not. We barely made it to the vault with the nuclear bomb grazing our forehead, but now at least we know what happened to my hairline. But when we get into the vault, the same old stuff happens. Our wife gets shot and our baby gets kidnapped. Nothing really too important, just thought I should mention something. We leave the vault and we head over to Concord where we get our first level. Yo. I just started the game! I had to put away every weapon I've bonded with for the past 10 minutes of this game, and I had to pull out my trusty knuckles. But literally 10 seconds later, I found a switchblade, so I changed to that instead. After I immediately almost died by the first raider I came in contact with, I decided to pull out the pull cue for maximum damage instead of the switchblade. I went into the Museum of Freedom, and not even halfway through, I leveled up, so I had to spin the wheel. And I got explosives only. Now, the way I did this was, since I had two things on the wheel that were weapon types only, I just decided if I got both of them, it was basically a buff for me, and I could use both. It wouldn't really make sense if they cancel out the other if I went for two, so I'm just gonna say I can use melee weapons and throwables only. We'll come back to the Museum of Freedom later, but right now I gotta de-escalate a situation at the Drumlin Diner. Now, I actually persuaded them to lower their guns, but then I immediately asked for all of their caps.
Now hand over your money. All of it.
That's it. You're dead. You crossed the road.
They didn't take so kindly to me asking for all their money after telling them to lower their guns, so they started opening fire on me. I decided to head over to Paladin Dance and help him out. I'm actually gonna go on the Brotherhood Steel's side to complete the game with them. While I was on the mission with Paladin Dance, I leveled up, and the wheel said to get drunk. So I went back to the diner and exposed myself to as much alcohol as possible. I came back to my quest extremely drunk and ready to fight. If only they had drivable and workable cars in this game. And eventually became a part of the Brotherhood. I also leveled up after this mission, and I spun the wheel and it said live off of anything but stimpaks. And yes, this basically just means no stimpaks. And yes, I know I could have just put no stimpaks. It doesn't really matter. I go back to the Museum of Freedom to take out the Death Claw. I would say with a minigun, but I actually have to take him out with a pull cue. And this was extremely hard, because first of all, every time I got close to him, he literally just did this finisher move on me. This Mortal Kombat finisher, which I didn't even know he could do. But after a while, I eventually beat him. As y'all saw in the beginning, I landed on drown with my power armor after I leveled up. So I just jumped off the bridge leading to Diamond City, and I ended it all. I did a few more missions for the Brotherhood of Steel, and I made my way to the Memphis Hospital where I leveled up. But before I do that, just tell me what's going on in this clip. But after this clip, we leveled up and I spun the wheel and it landed on nothing happens. I feel like I should be excited about that, but honestly at this point I feel like I'd rather get drunk, because through this playthrough the wheel gave me purpose. Every time I leveled up I felt like my purpose was being completed, and then I had nothing to do. At least getting drunk was fulfilling my purpose, but now I have nothing to do. Let me go on another rant for a quick second. On a mission for the Brotherhood of Steel, this legendary Rad Scorpion was literally bullying me. The only reason I don't like this game is because I hate the idea of bugs and creatures I don't like being giant. So I don't like the rad scorpions, and I don't like the boat flies and the rad roaches. Every other animal I can tolerate, but I hate those. And the fact that I get chased down by this legendary rad scorpion every second while being shot at by super mutants, while I can only use melee weapons, is haunting to me. I'm going to tell you about the next 3 wheel spins at the same time because they're all relatively kind of lame. One was wait 5 days, the next one was drown with your power armor, and the other one was no more Codsworth. Now the no more Codsworth one, I do use Codsworth a lot, so that was kind of sad. But then the drown with the power armor, I basically just did the same thing I did last time, except Piper came down there with me for some reason and started drowning with me. I don't know. And then the last one was wait 5 days, which basically I stop whatever I'm doing and find the nearest bed or chair, and I literally just wait 5 days. So kind of boring. Unfortunately though, I lost a whole hour of footage, which included the footage of me waiting 5 days, but it wasn't game changing, so I didn't think anything about it. But I actually did lose the footage for another spin the wheel, which was I got to pickpocket somebody, and I also lost the footage of me traveling to the glowing sea where I did it. At the crater of Adam, I just pickpocketed somebody there, and then they started shooting their friggin' laser gun at me or whatever they had. So it wasn't really game changing, but I am sorry for losing that footage. As we're nearing the halfway point to the ending of the game, we got another spin wheel that told us to give Mama Murphy chems. So we went back, gave her some chems, and she told us some insight about my son. I also got a new sword that does a lot of damage, and I went to go to the railroad so they could decode the courser chip. Little did they know I would kill all of them with the exact same sword. Another wheel spin told me to get drunk, but I kept respinning it before I got that one, and it just kept giving me the same stuff. But getting drunk is one thing I'll never get tired of. Eventually I actually got to go on the mothership of the Brotherhood of Steel, and I actually became one of them. I leveled up and I spun the wheel again, and you guessed it, I got nothing happens. The next wheel spin, which didn't happen too much later, is wait 5 days again. So I sat in the bench in Diamond City and wait 5 days.
You cause trouble, there's gonna be trouble. Got it?
The Brotherhood of Steel finally let me build my teleporter to the Institute in their backyard. So I went to the Institute and basically told my old son that I'm not joining him. And I went back to cook up a master plan to end his life. Except before that, the wheel landed on kill innocent people. I've been waiting for this. This is one of the things I actually enjoy doing. So I went to this camp, I chucked a fragment grenade in this guy's house, and watched it all blow away. His life, that is. Basically, the plan now to destroy the Institute is rebuild this robot that the Brotherhood of Steel has called Liberty Prime. He can throw nukes off his back, and he has laser vision. Basically, there's just a ton of missions of us helping rebuild this guy so we can take on the Institute again at the end. But while I was on this mission for the Brotherhood of Steel, we actually leveled up and we got wait 5 days again. So I found this sleeping bag in this armory I was supposed to get nukes from, and I slept for 5 days. Would I die from sleeping and not moving for 5 days straight, or would I wake up being the most alert and well-rested person ever? After this mission though, apparently the Brotherhood found out that Paladin Dance is a synth. I didn't know this, and apparently he doesn't either. But the Brotherhood of Steel obviously doesn't like synths, so they sent me to go execute him. I came over here and had a nice talk with him, and he said he wanted me to execute him. So I did what any good person would do, and I ended his life. I mean, he told me to do it, so it's okay. While I was on the Brotherhood of Steel ship, my next wheel spin was kill the next person I see. So I went up to this Brotherhood of Steel member and sliced him. And at first, they didn't seem to mind. But then 5 seconds later, they took out their guns and immediately started unloading on me. I don't know why they betrayed me like this. They acting like I shot one of their people. Next, the Brotherhood gave me orders to take out everyone in the railroad. People that helped me before, yeah, I gotta kill all of them now. It wasn't really that hard, but I did get a lot of good stuff from it. But it was kind of sad because I hate killing Tinker Tom. But this next mission was by far the hardest mission I've had to do. Now you might think it's because of the sheer amount of radiation going into my blood right now, but no, it's because this place is filled to the brim with robots. Now, it is extremely difficult in the first place to kill the robots, kind of, but with melee weapons, it is more difficult because these robots are very powerful, and basically, it's a suicide mission if I'm trying to kill them with melee weapons. And I didn't even bring my suit of power armor because I honestly didn't think this mission was gonna be that hard. But yeah, I eventually killed all of them by just like taking them out one by one, going into a room, trapping a few of them in there, and then killing one at a time. But yeah, this mission drained my blood like the radiation did. We're at the very end of the game now. There's no more wheel spins for me to do because this is the very last mission. We have built Liberty Prime, and he is going on a mission to destroy the Institute. Now basically we just have to follow him around and honestly do nothing, because first of all, since I have a melee weapon, I have to get close to them, and every person he sees, he basically just throws a nuke at them, so I can't really do a lot. But then the final test came. It was Liberty Prime versus the biggest super mutant of them all, but the Behemoth. 1v1. This is more hype than Endgame when it first came out. This is the only thing standing in our way of fighting the Institute. Will Liberty Prime win?
That's it?
Yeah, I really don't know what I expected anyway. Liberty Prime is literally like 3 times his size. But either way, Liberty Prime opens this Institute entrance with his laser vision and a nuclear bomb. So we hop in and take over the Institute with the Brotherhood. I go to meet my son again for the 2nd time. But this time I'm feeling generous, so I might not end his life this time.
I didn't expect to see you again. I don't suppose you're here because you've changed your mind.
We planted the bomb on the reactor and got out and blew that popsicle stand. The one thing I will say about doing this with the Brotherhood is it's way harder than doing this with the Minutemen. Now I'm pretty sure the Minutemen takes longer to do. I'm sure there's more missions, but the Brotherhood of Steel is just way harder in general. But also what I love about the Brotherhood of Steel is when I left fake Sean in the Institute to blow up and die, no one batted an eye. Like when I did this with the Minutemen, everyone disliked what I did, leaving the Synth there to die. But the Brotherhood, nobody cares. So I'm grateful that they see eye to eye that we should end Sean's life. But yeah, that was Fallout 4. Every time I level up, I spin a wheel of misfortune. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I get another vid out this week. Give me suggestions on any vid I should do, because I honestly need them. And yeah, see you next time.